Here I am about to talk about a movie that none of you have probably heard of. Maybe a few, but then again, none of you have probably seen this movie. Let's talk about this movie. Arctic. Arctic is a survival film directed by Joe Penna, I believe, and it stars Mads Mikkelsen. And basically, what this movie is Mads Mikkelsen is stranded in the Arctic and he needs to survive. And that's really all I'm going to say about the plot of this movie because I think people should go into this movie as blind as possible, knowing nothing about it. So let's get into Arctic. Okay, so I knew nothing about this movie going into it, other than the fact that it starred Mads Mikkelsen. It was a survival film that took place in the Arctic, and basically it had to do with Mads Mikkelsen surviving. So, yeah, I mean that's all I really knew about it. It had an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I was a little curious about it. And wow, I gotta say, I was actually very surprised by this movie. I was surprised by just how good it was. I thought it was going to be like maybe your standard by-the-number survival film, but it really isn't. It's a little, like, yeah, there's a few things here and there that are kind of, like, akin to, like, the typical survivor film formula, but nothing too big here. And, again, I recommend going into this movie blind, or as blind as possible. If you haven't seen any trailers, don't watch them. I didn't see any trailers. Just go into this movie blind. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I recommend you turn this review off now and go see the movie and then come back and watch this review because I am going to get a little bit into it. Not too much, but a little bit. Alright, so here we go. First off, Mads Mikkelsen in this movie is amazing. Like, he carries this entire movie. The movie's centered around him and it involves his survival. And he's amazing in this movie. There's really not much else to say. It's one of his best performances. It might be his best performance of his career. I don't know. But I honestly think this performance is kind of Oscar-worthy. Will he get nominated? No, because this film is not getting very much attention, I guess you can say, from audiences. Like, it's not getting very much attention, which is kind of sad. But yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, he's amazing in this movie. He's easily the best performance of the year so far. And just, like, all the survival elements to this movie, like, whether we've seen it before or not, like, just all the elements come together. It really brings the emotion. Like, you see Mads Mikkelsen, he's, like, on the edge of survival, but then, so you, like, start to feel his emotion. Like, there's a relationship he forms with another person that, like, it kind of makes you start to feel for him. That's kind of where his character development goes in this movie because he's not really given too much background. In fact, I don't think he's given any background at all. Like, we just get right into the survival element of the movie, which is another thing I kind of like. Like, there's just no 20-minute, 30-minute backstory. It's just straight into the survival. And that's another thing I like about this movie. It's short, sweet, straight to the point. This movie's also only 90 minutes long, and like it really doesn't feel like that long at all. It moves by really quickly, and again, short, sweet, straight to the point. And another thing I love about this movie is it's all visual storytelling. There's not very much dialogue in this movie at all. It's just all visual storytelling, which is something I really love about movies when it's done well. Movies like WALL-E or last year's Alpha or the How to Train Your Dragon films. Like, again, with the Hidden World, when we see Toothless and the Light Fury. Things like that. That's what I really love about visual storytelling. Like, you just see no dialogue, it just tells a story. That's honestly my favorite kind of storytelling, and it really works with this movie. And speaking of which, the cinematography. Like, you need good cinematography to have good visual storytelling, and this movie has very good cinematography. Like, just all the wide shots, all the landscape shots, just seeing the Arctic, the ice, the snow, all the storms that happen. It makes you feel like you're there with Mads Mikkelsen trying to survive. And that's another thing I really love about this movie. And then, of course, Like, there's also the survival element itself, which I've kind of already talked about. Yeah, but yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, he's awesome in this movie. It's short, sweet, straight to the point. It's some great visual storytelling, great cinematography. I really love this movie. I was surprised by how much I love this movie, and it's not making much at the box office, which kind of sucks, honestly, because I do think more people should see it. So yeah, it's a survival film, but it's a really good survival film, and it's part of the reason why I really like survival films, because it's got a lot of emotion behind it, and you just follow the character, you see how he kind of develops as the story goes along, and I really like the way that Joe Panna, whatever his name is, told the story. And it's his directorial debut, by the way, so yeah, that's another fun fact about it. So yeah, good job, Joe Panna. Good job on your directorial debut here. My only small problem with this movie is, again, like, he's not given very much backstory to him. Even if they had started like right on the survival elements, they could have done some flashbacks maybe, and I would have liked to see a little bit of backstory. I mean, there is one very small element that kind of gives him backstory, I guess, but it's very, very subtle. So yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit of backstory, and I can see why the ending, like, personally, I didn't have a problem with the ending, but I can see why some people might, because it is a little bit abrupt, but we know what's going to happen, so I didn't really see too many problems with it. So yeah, overall, Arctic was a really nice surprise. Definitely an underappreciated film. It's a smaller film, it's an independent film, but it's really good, guys. If you haven't seen Arctic already, I definitely recommend you go check it out. Go see it in theaters, give it some money, because I really think it deserves it. So yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, well done to you. Well done to Joe Panna for directing this movie. I'm going to give Arctic a 94% certified fresh rating. That is an A+. So congratulations to Arctic for getting my second A+ of the year. Well done. Currently my number 2 film of the year. So yeah, if you have seen Arctic, what did you think about it? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't seen Arctic, again, I definitely recommend you go see it. If you haven't heard of it, well, now you have, that since you've pretty much watched my entire review of it. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, definitely go check it out before it leaves theaters. And if you have seen it, make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know that you like my reviews, because I've been losing subscribers lately. I'm down to 55 now. I was at 57 at the beginning of the month, but now I'm down to 55. So yeah, I'd like to get my subscriber count back up. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out some of my other movie reviews. I'm going to be coming out with some more later on in the week. Expect a review of Alita Battle Angel at some point. And then, of course, we got Captain Marvel coming out this weekend, so make sure to stay tuned for that review. I've also got a little something else to say in that review, but I'll let you guys know about it once I do review Captain Marvel. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, so again, make sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and until the next review, once again, my name is the California Cougar, and always remember, stay California cool. Peace.